In the first battle, when the shadows first lengthened, one stood, burned by the embers of Armageddon, his soul blistered by the fires of hell, and tainted beyond ascension.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Scream Theory. So about a year ago, I posted a YouTube short of me doing the Doom narrator voice, and at the end of it, I quickly explained how I did it, but I've got a lot of requests to do a tutorial on it, so that's what this is. Now, if you're not familiar with my channel and you just stumbled onto this video because you're trying to figure out how to do the voice, I primarily focus on distorted vocals for heavy metal music and teaching people how to scream. And in order to do the Doom narrator voice, it's a very similar technique to what metal vocalists use to distort their voice, which is using the false vocal cords. However, it's not just metal vocalists that use their false chords. Voice actors often use their false chords too in order to add a little bit of grittiness to their voice. But if you know how to use your false chords, maybe you've practiced false chord screaming for metal music, or you just know how to use your false chords from some other aspect of your life, well, this is going to come a lot easier to you. If you don't know how to use your false chords, or you just have no idea what I'm even talking about, well, this technique is going to be a little bit more difficult for you to learn. It's not something that you can just learn in a week or two of practice. It's going to take a lot of time, because it takes quite a bit of control over your false chords in order to do this. But if you look on my channel, I have an exercise program that I created for false chord screaming, and maybe you don't want to learn how to false chord scream and do metal vocals. Well, even just going through the first phase of that program will teach you how to use your false chords and the exercises that you need to do and skills you need to develop in order to gain really good control over your false chords. But if you already know how to use your false chords, then doing the voice of the Doom narrator is actually really easy. You simply just need to speak with your false chords very lightly, using very little air pressure. And you also need to try to isolate your false chords. You don't want any engagement of your true chords. You don't want any bit of your actual voice in the mix. You really just want to isolate the vibrations of your false chords. So this is what it sounds like when I vibrate both my true chords and my false chords together. Hey, 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 whoa. You can kind of hear my voice and my false chords together. And this is what it sounds like when I try to isolate my false chords and minimize any engagement of my true chords whatsoever. Hey, whoa, hey, whoa, hey, ow, ow. If you are relatively new to using your false chords, then this might be kind of difficult for you. A lot of beginners have a tendency to also use their true chords and vibrate their true chords when they're trying to get their false chords vibrating. But typically in the first few weeks of someone regularly using their false chords, vibrating them, producing noises with them, and just trying to feel it out, that level of control tends to come rather quickly. The hardest part about learning to use the false chords is the first couple weeks of just trying to turn them on and figuring out where that rumble comes from and how to reproduce it consistently. If you already have experience with using your false chords, then all you need to do to learn how to isolate them is start out with a very small amount of air pressure, like the same amount that you would use to whisper kind of loudly. And then while exhaling, just try to turn them on. Hey, 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 hey. You can try the grunting method, you can try a little glottal attack with your false chords, almost like a throat clear. You can even try exhaling through your nose with your mouth closed, trying to get that rumble going, and you want to feel it like it's up in your nasal passages, like you're revving up a lawnmower up in your sinuses. And once you start to isolate your false chords, then practice lightly speaking with them, saying words. And it's almost like you're whispering with your false chords. Hey, whoa, hey, ho, I'm the Batman. Where's the bomb? Who do you work for? Where's the Joker? Where's Falcone? I'm not the hero this city deserves, but I'm the one that it needs. And once you get used to lightly speaking with your isolated false chords, then we want to try to slightly lower the pitch. And you can do this by first opening up the back of your mouth and upper throat, kind of like the same position of a yawn. And then you want to try to take your tongue and shove it back and slightly down into your throat.
They knew he would come.
So if you can isolate your false chords, use very little air pressure to lightly speak with them, and shove your tongue back a little bit to lower the pitch, well, that's pretty much it. Now, if you're getting lightheaded while doing this, you're probably using too much air pressure. You want to get to the point and the level of control over your false chords where you can do it really, really quietly, like very little air pressure at all.
In the first age, in the first battle.
And so that's pretty much it. Well, that's 90% of it, because there is one caveat. Unless you have an absurdly deep voice, an abnormally deep voice, to the point of where you might not even be human, well, you're going to need to use artificial pitch correction. You're going to need to artificially lower the pitch just a little bit, and it will sound exactly like the voice of the Doom narrator. If you can do this naturally without any pitch correction, then that is insane, and you have my respect. But most people are going to need to artificially lower the pitch. And it's pretty clear that that's what the sound engineers at id Software did with the guy who voiced the Doom narrator. It's obviously pitch corrected. So record your voice, throw it onto a track in your DAW, and lower the pitch. I use Reaper, so I'll show you how to do it in Reaper. It's really easy.
In the first age, in the first battle, when the shadows first lengthened, in the first age, in the first battle, when the shadows first lengthened, in the first age, in the first battle, when the shadows first lengthened, one stood, burned by the embers of Armageddon, his soul blistered by the fires of hell, and tainted beyond ascension.
So that's pretty much it. I hope this video was helpful to you. If you like the way I teach distorted vocal techniques, well, please leave a comment, thumbs up, and subscribe to Scream Theory. I'll see you in the next one.